Guys, in the last hour, Mike Sando and The Athletic put out their annual quarterback tiers list. And we had to discuss it because some of the
whole
quotes
thing. We already let it out.
About Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders caught our eye. Here is the full list. Both Browns quarterbacks come in the final tier. Deshaun Watson at 31. Shedeur Sanders coming in at 35. Remember, this is
35, sorry.
A 35. This is a survey of executives, GMs, coaches, scouts, personnel executives, and they vote 1 through 5 on each quarterback. Then they are each ranked. And you get to see some of the quotes from these NFL executives. And I'm going to read you a few from Shedeur Sanders from various NFL personnel executives. Steve, you want to take this full? This is exactly from Mike Sando's article. Here it goes. Sanders was one of 37 quarterbacks to start at least 7 games last season. He ranked last among them in EPA per pass play, right behind J.J. McCarthy and Cam Ward. Quote, he's inaccurate at all 3 levels, an executive said. I can't tell if he's going to get better, but there's a huge gap between him and competent quarterback play. A dozen voters place Sanders in tier 5. Another quote from a defensive coordinator, I'd sleep like a baby if I got to play him every week. Another defensive coordinator offered more specifics. Quote, he's not an on-time player, can't really read through coverages, is a little bit heavy-footed, this defensive coordinator said. He is thicker and harder to tackle than expected, but you shouldn't lose to him, end quote.
Oof.
That's pretty harsh.
Now, it's just
guys
3 people's opinions, but they are 2 defensive coordinators and what was the third person? The executive?
NFL executive.
Yeah. Doesn't mean they're right, but if they are, that's pretty damning. G. Bush, your response?
Yeah, everybody got opinions. Everybody got one of them. Like, there's guys like Bo Nix, who I'm not a big fan on. I'll give you an example. Bo Nix coming out of Oregon. I wasn't a big fan of Bo Nix. But the strange thing that happened is Bo Nix got into a system with, the right coach, got into a place where, they coached him up. They got in a situation where they put him in a position. And Bo Nix turned out to be a quarterback that I was wrong on. I'm like, man, I don't really think Bo Nix got no upside.
Bo Nix is 18 on the list.
I will also say this. One of the biggest things that we always have to watch for, and I'm looking for his name going down here. Where is that? Sam Darnold. There you go. Now, Sam Darnold is a little bit different because Sam Darnold was a first-round pick, and Sam Darnold was highly touted coming out of college.
Mm-hmm.
However, Sam Darnold also was a laughingstock for a couple of years.
He was.
He was the guy we all laughed at and said, oh, my gosh, don't be a Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
But the funny thing about that is people actually put the work in, they get to it, they put it in the right system, and then something goes off. It clicks for guys at different rates. You can look at a guy like Brock Purdy, who no one's like, dude, that's about to fall off. But he got Kyle Shanahan, he got weapons around him. He's tied for 11. So where you're looking at these guys, you can ask a bunch of people. People have a different opinion on those guys. But at the end of the day, it's just all about what you're doing in that organization and what that organization feels good about you. Yeah. Everybody ain't going to feel great about a quarterback. Some high, some low. But, he'll get his opportunity to see what he do this year.
The truth, though, is Sam Darnold's an anomaly. It's uncommon for a guy to be bad for as many years as he was and then turn it around.
Yeah.
7 years.
It doesn't happen very often.
7 years he was in the league.
Right. It's rare. But it's going to happen. There's always exceptions to the rule.
If you throw a guy out there, I'll put it to you like this, Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, even right here, if for his whole career, it got to a point where it's like, okay, Baker, is he a franchise guy? He was the number overall pick. He's good enough to get you a certain extent. But so many people in the league, if you ask when Baker Mayfield, have a completely different personality or thought process what Baker is. Some think he could be franchise. Some people think he's fringe top 15. Some people think, listen, it isn't worth it. He can't get you over the top.
Right.
But everybody has a different perspective on Baker. And you look at some years, he's good. Some years, he plays better than others. But it's a wide range on those guys.
But there isn't, on Shedeur Sanders, there is no wide range at the moment.
Yeah. Well,
everybody thinks he's terrible. Oh, how many people were asked about this?
I could give you the exact vote breakdown.
50.
50 people.
Yeah, 50 people. He had 1 vote in tier 3.
Wow. So not everybody. One person said tier 3.
37 votes in tier 4, and then 12 votes in tier 5. And tier 5 is I have no idea what to do with these people.
All right, what's tier 4? Backup?
Tier 4 is technically, I have to scroll all the way up to we start at tier 4. Unproven player, veteran who would ideally not be a full season starter.
But I said there was no variance, but that's not true. There was one person that had him tier 3. Why did we get a quote from that person, whoever he is?
I don't know. You want to hear Deshaun Watson's breakdown?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Not really.
He came in at 31 on this list.
Yeah.
One person voted him tier 2.
What?
I know.
That person should lose their voting rights.
Which just goes to show you, it's not a perfect system.
And
It's not a perfect system.
It's better than most lists, Mike.
Can you explain to me?
But that's insane.
Can you explain to me what tier 2 is? The definition of it.
It's like a good player.
Tier
Lamar's
2
in tier 2.
carries his team, handles pure passing situations and doses, or has other dimensions that elevate him above tier 3.
Yeah.
Has a hole in his game, not a perfect player.
That guy should lose his voting rights, whoever that one guy is. All right, so one guy gave him tier 2.
That is delusional in every way possible. Well, I don't know what executive that is. Maybe he's a junior level executive.
Yeah.
I hope you ain't running the team.
My point is, this is not the end all be all. It is what it is. Deshaun got 12 tier 3 votes.
I even think that's kind of crazy.
Can you give me the definition of tier 3?
Tier 3 in this category. A legit starter but needs better running game or defense to win. Low volume, drop back passing offensives suit him best.
So for Shedeur, there is one person that thought he was a lower tier starter.
Yes.
And the rest thought he's not a starter.
But the most damning thing is 12 people think that Deshaun Watson is
a lower tier starter.
Or 13 if you count the guy that voted
13.
for tier
So
2.
think about that.
Yeah.
And the 13 people, I would like them to come and pull up at practice or pull up the game film of the last time Deshaun Watson played in the Cleveland Browns uniform.
Well, when I get to the quotes, and I don't know how Mike Sando picks and chooses which quotes to use and whatnot. 35 people had him in tier 4, and 2 people had him in tier 5.
Yeah, he should be in 4 or 5.
Yeah, these are some of the quotes on on Deshaun Watson, from Mike Sando's quarterback survey. Quote, "You're not projecting he's going to be able to last the whole season and be the guy at this point, are you?" A current GM asked. The next one, "A new coach, Todd Monken's offense is a little more look over here, read the whole field as opposed to reading the coverages. That's a better fit for Deshaun than it is for Shedeur." Next one, an offensive coach said, "I don't think he can come back. You do not all of a sudden get drive and desire and processing skills. He showed he had none of that with what he put on film the last 2 years. He's a 5 at this point." And a former GM, the final quote said, "I don't even know what to do with him. It's been so long. It's almost like a no grade for him. He could be anything from a 3 to a 5. I genuinely have absolutely no idea how to project him."
All right, I got no problem with most of those quotes.
And, the thing is, if you look at it, you got a young dude who played 7 games, but we have a large sample size with Deshaun Watson. It's a sample size there. Could he come back and play well?
No.
Yeah, but
No,
I mean,
I don't think so.
But I think that's the reason why watching preseason games is important.
Yeah, right.
Because it's important. At one point in time, people were saying, "Hey, just let him start." I'm like, no. I need to see it.
The bottom line is the general consensus from 50 executives and coaches that were paneled is that the Browns quarterback room is the worst in football.
There are 32 teams. The Browns quarterbacks rank 31 and 35.
Yeah. Lamar Jackson not being in tier 1 is patently absurd. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, you want to talk about some of the other big pictures,
Well,
not Browns
that's the most
related?
egregious. To not have him in tier 1. And if you're going to use the playoffs, that's fair. But Josh Allen hasn't won in the playoffs either.
So let's get to it. Let me look down here.
The first tier, how many were there some people that gave Lamar tier 3?
I can tell you if you give me one
They
second.
probably were, and that's crazy.
No, Lamar, 22 tier 1 votes, 28 tier 2 votes.
Oh, he just had more. Okay, so nobody was really stupid and gave him a
Tier 2.
To me, he's tier 1. I figured there were some guys who thought he was tier 2.
Here's the breakdown. I'll give you the top couple.
Yeah.
So 50 voters. Mahomes had 49 tier 1 votes, 1 tier 2 vote. Allen 48-2. Stafford 48-2. And Burrow, the last quarterback that ended up in tier 1, 46 tier 1 votes, 4 tier 2 votes.
I don't understand.
It's ridiculous.
How Burrow could have 46, and I love Burrow. And Lamar only has 22 first tier. That doesn't make any sense.
How does this man have? This is my problem. This is why executives be getting fired every day. Like, let's not keep, like, I don't know how y'all failed up in life, but a lot of y'all be doing crazy stuff. For you to say Lamar Jackson is a tier 2 is foolish. The man has done more than Josh Allen has done in like 1 year. Let's keep it a buck.
What do you mean?
Josh Allen, if you're going to get on Lamar Jackson for his playoffs, what the heck is Josh Allen doing?
Well,
Josh Allen's played really well.
I defend Lamar Jackson more than anybody. Josh Allen's been better as an individual in the playoffs than Lamar Jackson has.
Except for the time where he was just costing the game against the Denver Broncos when it was your time to just walk into the Super Bowl.
I agree with you. Lamar Jackson's had those moments too. Josh Allen has been better in the playoffs than Lamar Jackson. Overall, they've been disappointing in the playoffs, especially lately. But Josh Allen, that game against Kansas City where he played out of his mind and the Chiefs scored it with 7 seconds left, like they should have gone to the Super Bowl. That had zero to do with him.
I get, but what I'm saying is
Lamar Jackson's been bad in the playoffs. That's just a fact. But Allen has been bad at times.
If Joe Burrow and Josh Allen is in the top tier, Lamar Jackson is in the top tier.
I just disagree that I think Josh Allen's been better in the playoffs than Lamar, although the last couple of years, Josh Allen hasn't been as consistently good in the playoffs. By the way, the two people that voted for Josh Allen in tier 2 are idiots also. The two people that voted for Matthew Stafford as tier 2 are idiots also.
How is that possible?
It's not just executives. It's executives, head coaches, coordinators. There's some formers in there.
In the end, they got the right top. Like Lamar's still the 5th-ranked quarterback, and if you want to put him 4th, 5th, 3rd, whatever.
There's a separation between the top 5 and everybody else.
Yes, that's why Lamar should have been tier 1 with those other guys.
Yeah, it's a dramatic. Now look, if you want to put Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert or Jordan Love, okay, whatever. That's cool. Like we want to get down there, but like we can't do this. Man got 2 MVPs. Let's be real.
I don't understand how Justin Herbert is 6. People are obsessed with him.
I'm with you.
I don't get it. You want to talk about a guy who's not done anything in the playoffs?
Bro, they just
let me give you some Sando breakdown on Herbert. Yeah. He got 19 tier 1 votes, 28 tier 2 votes, and 3 tier 3 votes.
And I think the tier 3 is wrong. Justin Herbert is 100% a tier 2 quarterback. He should get no tier 1 votes
all
and
the skills,
tier 3
all the
votes.
traits. You watch him throw a football, your jaw drops. He's exactly what you want. But they don't ever win anything.
They don't win. He hasn't won a single playoff game.
Yeah. Well, this is what a defensive coordinator said. Quote, how long has Herbert been in the league now? They've never won a playoff game. I get it. But like if you're the guy at some point, I feel like they've been sniffing around enough. He should have more accolades at this point of his career.
It's not like they've had a terrible team, and now they've got a good coach the last couple of years. So, like he's had Keenan Allen there most of his time, who's a great receiver.
Hold on. Yeah. I tripped, McNuggets. Put that billet back up there. And listen. Shout out to. Hold on. Let me see that. Let me look a little closer. Can somebody tell me why Malik Willis is so high?
So high? I mean,
he's number 29.
No. What I'm asking, though, is, like, okay, Malik Willis has played, like, 2 games. Can we hear his comp? Why is his comp so high?
Well, he's in the unproven player, not enough information tier. He's in the right tier.
Okay, like, let me just see. J.J. McCarthy. This is nasty work.
What?
J.J. McCarthy. I've seen nothing from him.
But he's second to last.
He's 34th.
I've seen nothing from him. Like,
where do you want him?
Where do you want him? Geno Smith. Gino, can I want to hear some JJ McCarthy comments because he should.
You want some JJ McCarthy
he's the
quotes?
bottom two.
Yeah, I want some
What's
quotes.
the difference?
I need some quotes.
Quote, football looks incredibly hard for him, an offensive coach said.
There you go. The quotes make it better. Then give me another one. I just need to hear another. See, here's the thing. I was like, yo, they killing Shedeur Sanders. I need them to kill Malik Willis too. Let me get my money off. Let me hear what JJ McCarthy.
Quote, he has the tools, but he was coming out of a Michigan offense, and as an NFL passer, he needed development, even though he had arm strength, was athletic, and could run. There was the body, too. He's not a big guy. Another executive said going into year 3 is knocking down the expectation a little bit, but is group 4 more fair to the player? I don't know. Football looks hard to him is a pretty.
That's a devastating one. That football looks hard. Yeah, like that's crazy. That's devastating.
Bring up the whole list again, Mike, so to see if there's anybody else we want to comment on.
Yeah, I want to see it.
I mean, Baker and Sam Darnold. It's funny. The other day we were talking about Baker and like who he stacks up against, and we had him with all these guys in this group.
You know what's kind of crazy though? I missed this.
I don't think there's a clear 6th quarterback.
CJ Stroud.
He's been terrible
in tier 3. Could you have imagined him being that low after he smoked us in that playoff game?
No, he looked like he was headed for tier 1.
He was tier 1. Can we get some CJ Stroud talk? Because I want to see what they say about him because I think this is
Baker. I want to hear
then Baker.
I mean, for me, CJ Stroud, I'd have him right where I'd have him ahead of Aaron Rodgers. But I'd have him 19. To me, I think it's pretty good. Rodgers.
Knicks feels low to me.
Knicks feels a little low. I'd have him, but then again, like who's he ahead of? Definitely.
I'd take him over Baker in a second.
I would take Bo Nix over Baker, but I'd take
him over Trevor Lawrence too.
I think Brock Purdy's overrated. I think Jordan Love's over. You know who I would have 6 guys?
Hurts feels low.
Now, again, to me,
That's kind of low.
To me, there's a huge drop between 5 and the next and 6.
Yeah.
And to me, there's no clear number 6. But if I had to pick number 6, I would take Jared Goff.
I would too. I was looking at that. I would too.
Over Drake May?
Yeah, now. Maybe in a year that's different.
Now, if Drake May has a big year again this year, then he probably goes up to 6 for me. But not yet.
What did they say?
I think Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels will both be in the top 10 after this year.
What did they say about CJ Stroud?
All right, CJ Stroud, mix of a lot of different opinions on him. The voting breakdown, 13 votes for tier 2, 37 votes for tier 3. The 2 main quotes that stick out, the first one comes from a defensive coordinator who said, quote, prior to last year, I would have thought he's going to be on the fringe of being in that upper echelon tier 1. I want to say he's a 3 based on the last couple of years, but I think he's really a 2. This year's huge for him. He's going to prove a lot of people right or a lot of people wrong.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Another exec said, quote, he's starting to fall into that category of a quarterback who's getting hard to protect. He doesn't beat you at the line and get the ball out. He holds the football, and then when he holds the football, he's prone to making too many mistakes.
What's Baker?
Baker Mayfield. I have not read these, so give me a second to scan.
So right in the middle.
Quote, this is from a current NFL exec. He probably fluctuates between a 3 and a 2 with some tier 1 games mixed in there. A little bit of reckless play style, a bit of a smaller guy. You saw some wear and tear catch up with him last season. I lean towards a 3 due to the inconsistency.
I think that was spot on.
He was.
To me, he's a borderline 2-3.
Yep.
Okay.
Another one. This is from a defensive coordinator, a former head coach, current defensive coordinator. I don't want to be unfair to Brock Purdy, but I feel more threatened by Baker. I think Baker does more outside of the system. I don't think he has been as protected in a system like Purdy has. And he's a winner. He's got that edge to him. So does Brock. Baker's a 2 to me. I don't understand the 3. And then here's a good one from an offensive coordinator. He's the streakiest player of all time. He can play like a 2. He can play like a 5. He can play like a 1. He misses throws.
Okay.
He loses vision. But then he makes some unbelievable plays with his feet and some unbelievable throws that you just can't coach. He's one of those guys that frustrates you as a coordinator. But when things turn around him and things around him are good, he can make impressive games and win some games by himself as well.
I think he's dead on. It's it's like when you start to believe in Baker, he falls apart. And you're like, oh. and then you're like ready to write him off, and then he gets hot again.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna throw this theory out at you.
Yeah.
I have a theory that from the beginning of the time, there has always been, at any given time, 5 elite quarterbacks.
Right.
Other than those 5 people, they all fit the description of what they said. They are guys that can get hot, guys that fluctuate between playing really good games, some mediocre games, and other games based on what their team looks like. But to me, there is 5.
There's 5 elites,
5
others,
game changers.
Yeah. There's 5 game changers, and 6 through 20 could vary.
Be anybody.
And then below that is not good enough.
Because I'm looking at that polarizing list, and I can go from Baker. If you would have just said that about Baker, I can look at Dak Prescott and say the same thing. I can look at Jordan Love.
Jared Goff.
I can look at Jared Goff. Jaden Daniels is in that mix. Trevor Lawrence is definitely in that mix.
100%.
Jalen Hurts is in that mix. We've seen him look like he can't throw the football, but in the Super Bowl.
Now Drake May, Caleb Williams, and Jaden Daniels, like, they could get up higher.
Yes.
We haven't seen enough of any of them yet.
Yeah, they could.
Caleb took a little time to develop, but I thought he really looked great second half. It would not surprise me if Caleb Williams was the number 6 quarterback next year.
I am buying all the Caleb Williams
I am
stock.
buying the Caleb Williams
All
stock.
of it.
Now, I was buying Bryce Young stock last year, and I like Caleb Williams more than I liked Bryce Young last year.
I'm selling a little bit of my Jaden Daniels stock.
I'm
Not
still
because I
on
don't love
Jaden
Jaden.
Daniels.
I just think the team around him. I'm selling all the.
I'm
Washington
worried
stock
about
right now.
his body type. The body type scares me a little bit because I think he has elite talent, but yeah, I think when you look at it, you got a lot of people that can fluctuate up and down. But I'm still trying to figure out if Jordan Love is like that. Like you know what I'm
Where's
saying?
Love 10?
Yeah, it's him and Trevor Lawrence. I'm trying to figure out, like, Trevor Lawrence been teetering for years. He was supposed to be the greatest of all time by now. I'm waiting on it.
Yeah.
Him and Justin Herbert
He's middle of the pack, which is right.
Middle of the pack.
Can't rely on him.